Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to talk about how difficult it is being spiritual, like really intuitive, and like really spiritual, and like trying to like date people or be friends with people. It's like really hard when you're like really gifted, because I feel like everyone is either afraid of you or jealous of you because you know too much, and it's like you're not trying to know. That's the thing. Like, I feel like when you're very psychic, it's not that you're trying to like, you don't want to know people's business. Like, you don't want to like tap in. You don't want to know that everyone is like a liar and a dickhead, and excuse me, people have like inner wounds and all that type of shit. Like, you don't want to always be right. Like, sometimes you actually wish you were wrong about some shit, you know. But yeah, it's just really hard being spiritual, because you see everything. You see everyone's intentions. You see things about people that they don't even see about themselves. And it's just like, you realize that like literally every other person is like some type of trickster or manipulator or something. So it's kind of like the world can't really go round unless someone is being controlled or manipulated. So you're either the one that's being controlled or you are the controller. So like when you're like the neutral party and you're like, well, I'm neither the controller nor am I able to be controlled. It's just hard. Like, it's hard to just, you know what I mean? It's just hard, man. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Like, it's just like spirit. Like, I understand why like the hermit is like the hermit. You know, I understand why like real, actual spiritual people that are really here to seek truth and knowledge and are really like connected to the divine. Like, I understand why a lot of them are loners, because it gets to the point where you don't even trust people that have like a lot of friends, because you're just like, if you really because someone in the group is fake, it's either the person is fake or their friendship group is fake. Like, even spiritual groups and stuff, a lot of them are like actual like indirect cults where someone just wants how can I say, like, someone just wants people to look up to them as some type of guru. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. It's just hard being like really into. And then, do you know what's even more crazy to me? Like, you know, like when you're really intuitive, right? And then you meet someone else who supposedly is intuitive or a psychic or whatnot, but then they like fear your gifts. And you're just like, how are you afraid of me when you're psychic yourself? So then you're just like, are you a fraud? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. I'm just like, how are you afraid of another psychic when you're supposed to be psychic? Like, make it make some sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not understanding, like. But then I think that's where the envy then comes from, because it's like someone who thinks that they're powerful and then they meet someone else and their mind's power exceeds theirs. So then it's like that competitive energy, like, well, who knows more? And it's just like, bitch, like, you know, this is not what we're given gifts for. But it's like when someone who is also intuitive, they are like afraid of your gifts. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, how can as one psychic be afraid of another psychic? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not understanding, but I don't know. It's just crazy. Because it's like you realize how you realize how powerful you are, but then when you are so powerful, you're feared or you're envied or both. So basically you're a constant threat and a target because people are constantly afraid of what you're going to do with the information. And it's just like nothing. It's not my fault that I am in the know. Like, you know what I mean? But that's how you know that you're a real angel, because, you know, an angel is an eye with wings. So they see everything. But, you know, so is an energy vampire. And another term for an energy vampire is a psychic vampire. So that's why a lot of dark spirits and like readers who are on a low vibration are so intuitive, because they also are gifted, you know. It's just that they have, their intentions are not pure, or they're toxic. Or they use their gifts for toxicity. So those are like people who focus on like karmic situations and karmic readings, or like they themselves are karmic, but yet they're giving guidance to the collective. You know what I mean? It's just, but like, you just think, oh my God, everyone is like low vibrational. Like everyone. And then like when you're high vibing, you can't connect with people. And then like when you can't connect with people, people misconstrue it as like you think you're better than them. And it's just like, no. Or to be fair, if anyone says that to you, that's because they actually think that you're better than them. That's why they're saying it. Just saying. But it's like, it's not that you think that you're better than people. It's just that you're just too high vibing. It's like, I'm too high vibrational for this. Like, this is like toxic. Like, how do you not understand that? And then it makes you think as well, like, how is some people like spiritual, like high vibrational spiritualists? Because it's like, if you were, you would know that that's low vibrational. Like, you wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? It's just like an angel is not gonna be into demonic things and then be like, oh yeah, we only live once. Like, an angel understands that they're an angel, so they do angelic things. A demon understands the demons. Like, there's no in between. You know, it's either you're of the light or you're of the dark. You know what I mean? Unless you're a Libra. You know, I feel like that. Now I understand why Libras have favor. Right? Okay, oh my God, I just had an epiphany, you know. I understand why Libras have favor, and I understand why they're hated. Like, I just feel like I've cracked the code. Because they have passage to both sides. Oh my God, epiphany, people. I feel like that's why. Okay, let me just think about this. Because I think they're probably the only sign that can balance out the light and the dark side effectively. Because most people, they can't handle their shadow side. They become it. Like, they can't maneuver between the two. They get consumed by like one or the other, mainly the shadow side. So I think that that's why Libras are, maybe that's why they will open enemies, because they have passage to both sides, but because they're the only ones that can balance it. They're the only ones that can operate from both sides effectively. Okay. I mean, that's what I think anyway. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. Because that's what the goal is divine balance and order. But you can't have one without the other. It's either like you're in the dark side or you're of the light. So I feel like Libras are the neutrals. Like, they're the two of swords. It's like, well, you know, we're neither light nor dark. We're both. Like, wow. Okay. So I've just come up with this epiphany as I'm recording this. So that's made me understand a lot about myself a bit more. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, anyway, like I said, it's hard being a spiritualist, man. Especially like if you're in a community where people don't like really believe in spirituality, or they think it's evil. And like I said, when you do meet spiritual people, they become afraid of you, or they envy your gifts because you're very powerful. But it's like, I didn't ask to have a super powerful mind, or to just know everything, or to see things, or to foresee things, or to read your energy better than you can read your energy. Like, you know what I mean? Or like people who are trying to like hide their intentions, and you're just like, well, I know that you're gonna do this, so just say it. It's like, I feel like when you're really powerful in the mind, you just take the mystery out of everything. It's kind of like being, you know, like magicians, like the fake magicians, the ones that go on stage. Like, it's like being on stage with a magician, and then you just telling the audience how the tricks are done. It's like, yeah, he's got a string here. Yeah, she's not really sawn in half. It's like a trick box, or like, you know, you're giving the magician's secrets away. That's kind of how I feel like it is for someone who's powerful, except for they're not doing it on purpose. So the magician feels out of place because the magician is like, well, I can't practice my magic now because you've just told everyone what the fuck I do and how I do it. But that's what I feel like it's like when you're really powerful minded. And like people, like I said, people are afraid of you. They don't know what, but I only feel like people who are afraid of you is because they've been doing something. Like, you know what, if I was like, I don't want to say petty, but because I actually have like a recording of a spiritualist that's very well known. Like, if I was to say who it was, everyone would know who they are. Of admitting how that she's afraid of me and why she's afraid of me. And I'm like, God, if anybody knew that you of all people were afraid of me, you know what I mean? But like, people are just lucky I'm just not like, I'm not one of those people. I don't like expose, and I'm not petty. And like, I still have love for this spiritualist. So I feel like if I was to show people, she would take it as like, she would take it as a personal attack. And I think that people would think that I'm doing it for clout. Because I know that if I was to do it, it would get a lot of views, a lot of shares. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it wouldn't, because it's like, I've actually got a lot of proof and facts and stuff. Like, a lot of people, they make videos about people, but they don't have any evidence. It's just like assumption. Oh, I had a dream that someone was attacking me and some dumb shit. Not to say that it's not true, but like, a lot of people, they have, they make content about other people because they have personal issues with them. Like, I actually have proof, and like, I actually have actual relationships with like people who I could expose. But I wouldn't do that, you know. And when I say expose, I don't, again, even me saying the word expose, it's not about expose, it's just about like, it's to prove a point of how powerful I am. Like, it's like, this person who is like revered in the community is even afraid of me, you know. Which is obviously clear that she has been doing some shit, but we're not going to get into that. But it's like, I can't even like show people that, because if I do, it's going to look, I'm trying to start some drama, and I'm really not. It's just, people are just lucky I'm not how I used to be. Like, if this was me like about 10 years ago, you know what I mean? My justice energy was like, I didn't give a fuck who you were, who it was. If I had the facts, the proof, and the receipts, I'll be posting that everywhere. Because to me, it's about justice and fairness. And I just hate when people are perceived in a certain light, but it's not really them, or people, you know what I mean? But I'm not like that anymore, because I realize that like, you know, it just creates more chaos than it needs. And back in the day, the internet wasn't as bitchy as it is now. So it's not the right time. But I just feel like I could really do some damage. And sometimes I feel very tempted to, because of like what other spiritualists have put me through. I'm just like, you know what, I could destroy you. But then I'm like, but I'm not vengeful. Like, thank God for my Libra placements, you know. This is why I love being a Libra, even though it's like a blessing and a curse. Without that Libra Mars placement, that Four of Swords, that peace, that last deacon in my Mars, people are lucky I have that, you know. They're lucky. That's all I have to say. They're lucky I'm not the Three of Swords, because I won't give I won't give a fuck about hurting your feelings, but I prefer to just lay things to rest, you know. But I don't even know how I'm getting into, because the whole spiritual thing, yeah. Sorry, because it's bringing up things, like I'm just thinking about things now. Kind of just rambling at this point, but I'm thinking about a lot of stuff that I knew I was right about. And I'm thinking about ways that I could prove certain things. But then I'm like, if I do that, it's gonna be classed as exposure. And I think that I could potentially like damage people's careers and stuff. And that's not my intent. That's the thing. That's why I won't do it. Mainly because I don't want, I don't want to start drama, because that's not the purpose of me doing that. It's more like to prove a point about myself. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna be received that way. And I know how petty the community is, especially with the American community. Any little piece of drama, they just jumped up on it and just, know what I mean? So I'm gonna do what I really want to do. Like, I really want to do this. Like, I've been so tempted, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. It's not me. It's not me. I mean, it is me, but it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not me. Like, it's not me. But yeah, because it's like I just have a piece of evidence, not even evidence. I'm talking like I'm in the court of law right now. But again, it's the Libra energy. I just got something to prove about, because it will make my point about psychics and about people who have real power, like how powerful we are and how threatening our power is to those who are in power. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it is what it is, man. I don't have anything to necessarily prove, but if I wanted to, I could. That's what I'm trying to say. People are just lucky I'm not paid. That's what I have to say. They're just lucky that I'm just. But again, even if I was to show people what I wanted to show them, it wouldn't be petty in my eyes. It would be me just using this piece of information to prove a point about myself. But other people would take it as like starting to some type of beef. But the thing about it is, because, you know, like I said, when you got those Libra placements, it's just like anything that I do, it would be justified. Like, if I wanted to do what I wanted to do or what I'm talking about, I could, because the person actually deserves it. But they're not going to get that energy from me, because they get it from everyone else. I'm not, you know what I mean? I wouldn't do that to them. I wouldn't do that to them. But yeah, but basically what I'm trying to say is it's hard to be spiritual or try to connect with spiritual people when you are truly gifted, because everyone is threatened by you. When they're threatened by you, they try to destroy you. They try to destroy you, or they envy you, all of the above. And then what is the sad thing is that they know that you know. So then they can't cover it up, and then they hate you even more. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a lot. Because sometimes you just wish that you didn't have certain type of gifts. There's certain gifts that you have that you can't even share with people. They're either going to think you're crazy, or the government is going to be after you. So it's you kind of think to yourself, what is the point of having such strong spiritual gifts if I can't? Like, I understand the monks. Like, I understand why people like devote their self to their mind, like to the divine, and like just cut off communication with most people and just live in their mind. Because when you live in your mind, you can go to other realms and shit. You don't have to really be here. Maybe that's what I was supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to be like a monk or something. Because when you're on the outside looking in, you don't really understand it. Like, with people like that who are like really, really spiritual, to the point where, like I said, they can go without technology and everything. You think like that, your mind, because most of us, you know, look at things like from a superficial standpoint. You look at them and you think to yourself, they must be like really bored. that must be a really boring life to live. But no, when you are like so in touch with the ethers, it's so beautiful. And like I said, with the power of the mind, when you have that type of control, you can go anywhere. So when you're living in your mind, it's you're not bored. But like I said, to people who are on the outside looking in, they'll just see someone there meditating and they'll just think, oh my God, like imagine just doing that all day, every day. But like, you don't know where I am in my head. So I feel like, maybe that's why some people are so powerful, because that's what, but it just kind of makes you think, but what's the point of my existence being in this reality if I've just got all of these magical gifts and powers to ascend out of this reality, like to spend most of my time out of it? Like, then why am I actually here physically? Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, but everything happens for a reason. But anyway, I just have some thoughts. I'm about to go to bed and shit. I kind of look crazy right now, but I just wanted to talk because I just being a spiritualist is just a lot. And when I mean a spiritualist, like I said, I mean someone who's genuinely devoted and connected to the divine, not fake bitches or bitches that are trying, but they're just not there yet. Like, I'm talking about like someone who's genuinely gifted. And when you're gifted with the light, but the darkness is like around you. I'm not talking about the spiritual people who are gifted, but they operate more from their shadow side. Because that's what I find out every time I've tried to make like a spiritual friend. They're always like some dark witch or some dark vampire type shit. It's just like, why do all you spiritual bitches summon demons and shit? This is why people think that like tarot and everything is evil, because most of the people out there that are doing this type of shit, that's what they're into. I don't give a fuck what they want to say to you when they're up on their channel. I can guarantee that's what a lot of them do. A lot of them are psychic vampires. They're energy vampires. And this is why there's so much hate and shit that you pick up in the readings, because that's what they fuel off of. And they get jealous of your power and they try to take it from you. Because when you think about it, why is someone of light going to be upset that another practitioner is doing well? Like, what? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. If we're all here working for the divine and we all got a job to do, that's like a bag of angels being jealous of an angel. Like, the fuck you mean? That's devil energy. Hence how the angel, the devil was once an angel and got cast down. Because that envy, that jealousy, like, I want to be more powerful than God. That's how you know when you're operating from your lower energy, because you start to feel some type of way towards other spiritualists that are just doing their job. You know what I mean? You're going to the dark side. So like I said, goes back to that Libra energy. That's why I feel like a lot of Libras are envied, because they're the only ones that can manage both. They can channel both energies without one consuming the other. Balance. Unless they're a Libra that is low vibrational. Because if you're a low vibrational Libra and your scales are tipped, I mean, so I'm not saying that like all Libras are like perfect and amazing, because any sign that is like in a low vibrational state is not great. But like low vibrational Libras they're not the one, But I still feel they're not as dangerous as like every other sign that is in a lower vibration. I think the most dangerous signs when they're in low vibrations are fire and water signs, because they can't be controlled when they're like at their lowest. They're very destructive elements, Those are like elements that you can't come back from. Like, think about a house going on fire. Once everything is on fire, you can't restore anything. Once there's a flood, you can't restore. Like, the damage is gone. It's done. So that's I look at people as elements. So they're the most dangerous when they're in a low vibration. So, but when you're of a high vibration, you tend to attract those types of energies. It's either they'll keep their distance from you, and you're like, why are you keeping your distance? Because they know that they're low vibrational and they know that you're going to find that out, so they're afraid of you. Or they try to befriend you so that they can suck your energy. So basically you have a lot of frenemies. There's always a reason as to why they want to be your friend. Because like I said, a lot of spiritual people, they are spiritual, but they're on a lower vibration and they want to connect with other spirituals. It's like, yeah, let's be free and toxic and do, because spirituality is about being free and relying on the unknown, but it's not people manipulate it into their version of what freedom and connection to the divine is. So again, it goes back to that cult type energy. There's a lot of like spiritual cults where there's like polygamists and all this weird shit going on. Everyone's just mixing energies with each other. And that's not high vibrational. It's spiritual, but it's not high vibrational spirituality. You know what I mean? It's like sex and lust and passion and feeding off people's energy. That's not angelic. That's a different type of, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent now because I'm just talking and chatting some shit. But, well, I'm not chatting shit. I feel like I'm talking a lot of sense, to be honest. But I'm tired, so I don't know how it's coming out. But basically, it's hard to be spiritual and gifted. Yeah. Because people are afraid of your power, man. They're afraid of your power and they're afraid of how disciplined you are. And you know what as well? I feel like people are afraid of your power because either they're afraid that, because they've been doing some shit to you and they're afraid that you know what they're doing and you're going to retaliate. Or people are afraid of your gifts because it's like, they can't hide anything. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they have negative intentions towards you, but they themselves may have other things that they have going on. And it's almost like they feel like you're consistently invading their personal space. But it's not on purpose though. You know? Like, it's kind of like Phoebe in Charmed. I don't know what season it was, but there's a season where like her powers amplify and she turns into an empath and she can like sense what people are feeling all the time. And there was this one episode where she was on a date with her partner, not Cole. Oh, Cole was so fine. Oh, didn't Cole and Phoebe's relationship just make you feel some type of way? Even though he was a demon, he like, his human side would have done anything for her. But anyway, let's move on. But yeah, she was dating this other guy, like her boss that she worked with. And they were at the dinner table and then she was staring at him and she picked up on his energy. She could feel the love that he had for her. She could feel that he was falling in love with her. So she touched him and she was like, I love you too. And then he was like, what the fuck? And then he kind of got scared and ran away. But then afterwards they spoke and then he goes like, do you have any idea how like terrifying it is for someone to tell you your feelings before you even know them or express them yourself? And he's like, you know, you're incredibly intuitive. Obviously, he didn't know that she was a witch at that time. But he was saying that to her, like, you know, you're always reading my emotions and everything. And you do it a lot. And it's just, you know, it's a bit. But she didn't mean to. That's the thing. Like, she would feel something and she'd just say it. But like, you know, sometimes when you have to look at something from someone else's perspective and think to yourself, well, you know what, it must be kind of like uncomfortable, I guess, when you know that someone always knows what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. You know, so like I said, but how they resolved that was he spoke to her about it. So that's why I always say communication is a good thing. But, you know, dating like an empath or being friends with an empath is a lot. Or a psychic, like a real one, because it's like you literally can't hide how you're feeling. And then when you are the empathic psychic one, you have to pretend like you don't know how someone's feeling, or you can't say anything to make them feel uncomfortable, to make them feel comfortable and to not weird them out. And a lot of the tension or the weird feelings that you are actually picking up on is actually a reflection of how they're feeling towards you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I constantly feel this person's fear and anxiety and it's towards me. So, or I feel this person's envy, or I feel this person's lust. Oh, don't even get me started on the lust, man. That's how you know that you're dealing with like a sexual demon, because you can feel the person like fucking you, basically. You can feel it. You can feel the sexual energy. So like, you know, when you're speaking to someone, you can feel when someone's sexually attracted to you. And it's like, if you're not sexually attracted to them, but the feeling is overwhelming, that's not a good sign. That person is probably very low vibrational. They're probably fucking you in your mind and you don't even know it. Unless you're intuitive, you'll be able to see what they're trying to do and block it. But that's a different conversation for a different day. We'll talk about that in a different video about how to detect when an energy vampire is trying to steal your energy. Yeah, but that sexual energy as well. That's one thing you'll notice when you're incredibly intuitive, is everyone is so lustful. It's like, wow, people are either anxious, jealous, or lustful. Or depressed. Like, those are like the main feelings that you feel off of other people. Yeah. Like, strongly. Or afraid, you know. Like, when you're a healer anyway, you feel all the things that need to be healed, or the things that are like, you know. Not many people think positive thoughts. You'll be very surprised. But anyway, I don't want to say anything else because I want to go to bed. But I just wanted to just vent, I guess. Bye, guys.